What's up, YouTube? This is Paul from Mickey Tech Tips. So this week I got something new to the channel to add. So this ain't a new concept. Other YouTube channels have done it, but what I want to do is make it a little bit different. So this is called This Week in Review, or like This Week this Technology News in Review for the week. I don't know what I'm gonna call it yet. I'll figure something out. But anyway. So what this concept is that I just talk about a few technology stories every week, and the ones that I think important that may affect you later on down the line. So I'm still trying to work it out. So right now, it's very basic. In fact, I don't even have a camera to show my face on there yet. Actually, wait, I do have a camera, but I don't have the. Want the camera set up to show, because I did go buy a webcam recently so I can record videos using my capture software on my PC. So I'm going to be playing around with this, so just bear with me, and I guess let's get started. Our first story this week is from Amazon. So they released a new Echo. It's called the Echo Show. Yeah. It's called the Echo Show, and basically what it is, it's an Amazon Echo with a screen, and it's really neat because you could take and control with your voice, but you can also do stuff like look at your doorbell and watch videos like from YouTube and Amazon Prime Video, and do everything else that you could do. And the price is going to be started at $229. You can get it in black or white, and it'll be released on June 28, 2017. I think this is going to be great because I've been waiting for something like this for a while. In fact, I'll probably pick one up because, like, there was a company called Jibo. I don't know if you remember them, but they tried to release something like that one time, and it's still not out. So I think Amazon's going to nail it. Now let's see Google's response, and then Apple, if they ever get around to doing some smart home assistant, because I really love my Amazon Echo. So yes. Our next article comes from Ars Technica. So at GTC this week, NVIDIA announced their NVIDIA Tesla V100, which is the first NVIDIA GPU based on Volta, which is a successor to the current generation Pascal graphics cards. Anyway, it'll be made on TSMC's 12nm FinFET manufacturing process, and packs a whopping 21.1 billion transistors on an 815mm square die, which is bigger than the current P100 and also the latest Titan X little p. So it's a giant GPU that they're making. The V100 will also have 16 gigabytes of HBM2 memory, and it'll be available inside NVIDIA's compute servers, which 8 of them will come packed inside of a $150,000 DGX1 rack-mounted server, which is slated to ship later on this year. And the 250-watt PCIe slot version will be available soon too. Does that mean go out and go replace your current Pascal Maxwell GPU? No, because this is still later on down the line on consumer end, because they just released the 1080 Ti and the Titan little p to expand the life of Pascal, just because they basically also mentioned that having to look beyond Moore's law, which is talking about transistors and a whole bunch of other stuff dealing with graphics and computer processors. So either way, don't go out and go sell your graphics card at the moment. So let's move on. Also today, this week, BGR published a news article along with a few other news outlets that speculating Amazon and Apple to unveil Prime Video app for Apple TV at WWDC, which is interesting because Amazon kicked both Apple TV and Chromecast to the curb in late 2015. And while there is support on Roku, it's still not that great, but it is better than these other two platforms. So it'd be interesting to see why they're releasing it on a competitor, considering they had the Fire TV sticks and stuff. This next article comes from WCCF Tech. AMD taking the covers off of VEGA, Navi, and Zen Plus on May 16th. Basically, AMD may be announcing VEGA and Navi, which are the successors to the current Polaris GPU architecture found in the RX 400 and RX 500 series graphics cards. And VEGA is slated to be released in June, so that sounds relevant. And also Zen Plus, which is a successor to the new Zen CPUs, which kind of doesn't make much sense because they've not completed releasing Zen yet, because we're still needing a Ryzen 3, which is going to most likely be the APUs, and unless they're still counting that differently, and the Summit Ridge. No, not Summit Ridge. The Naples, which is a server CPUs that are supposed to be coming out. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in 10 days. Actually, it's more like 5 days now. Anyway, let's move on. This next article is from SFF Network. So apparently some GT 1030s, pictures from MSI and Gigabyte have shown up recently, which is interesting because that's a $50 sub $50 point graphics cards, which it's been a while. I think the last time they released ones were the GT 750s. That's it. It was either GT 730s. Either way, it's interesting because these are the budget ones that mainly are just there to add on graphics outputs for your computers. You're not going to really be gaming on them. In fact, that's why a lot of them just say GT instead of GTX, because a lot of them are just going to put outputs on them. Even though, like, this one MSI card's taunting MSI Afterburner, which is the overclocking utility, you're not going to be overclocking on there. So, either way, they're going to be based on the GP108 300 core, and they're going to be produced on a 16 nanometer FinFET process. And they're going to have 384 CUDA cores and whatnot, and they're all going to have 2 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM. Clock speeds have yet to be announced, but that'll be interesting. And they don't look too bad. So the only reason why these cards are out there is so you can put them in your media center PC. So because right now the lowest one you can get is a GTX 1050, which costs around $100. So this is supposed to be a really budget card for adding just more display ports on your PC, or if you don't have dedicated graphics. So I guess let's move on to the next article. The next article comes from The Verge. So Microsoft has released a Windows Movie Maker replacement called Windows Remix, which honestly is interesting because it makes pre-made movies. Now I'm wondering to see how great it is, because Movie Maker was okay for a basic video editor, but they're going to be limiting it by, well, it can only make pre-made movies and you just add on stuff, then that's crappy. Because Movie Maker, even though it was a crappy video editing, you could do some editing, so it'll be interesting. But apparently it looks decent, so we should see what happens. And along with that, they'll combine it with Remix 3D and Paint 3D, which, by the way, also keep in mind, this is not going to replace your high-end video editing software like DaVinci Resolve or Adobe Premiere. This is just something that if people wanted to make basic home videos to share with friends and family. So it's interesting. When this gets released soon, it'll be on iOS, Android, and Windows. So I can't wait to see it, and I may even do a video on it. And it's supposed to be out later this year. So I guess that's it. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. This is still kind of new, so I'm going to be messing around with it, so just keep an eye out on it. Thank you. I guess see you guys next time.